my name is Kurjane and I'll be the host for today's Tauke Talks. Tauke Talks is a series of sharing sessions where small but mighty businesses, such as our Tauke from Tots All, come and share about their motivation as to why they started their business and also the story behind their journey. And this sharing session is brought to you by RYSE, a Malaysian research and social outreach project that aims to empower youth through entrepreneurship. And RYSE is proudly supported by Citi Foundation. All right, and we believe that entrepreneurship is not just limited to the big startups that use very advanced technology, but also to small but mighty businesses that are still persevering their dreams during the pandemic situation. So we really love to use the Tauke Talks platform to highlight all these small businesses so that we can really celebrate them during this time. All right, so without further ado, I'm really happy to welcome our Tauke for the day, Syazna from Tots All. Hi, Syazna.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much for joining us for our Tauke Talks today. So to kick us off, maybe Syazna, do you want to tell us a little bit more about your business, Tots All?
Hi, yeah, of course. So basically, Tots All is like a personalized portal where you could get everything personalized for your kids and actually in adults now, from newborn to I say like 10 years old. We started off with our Tot sofas. If you've seen them around, they're like cute little sofas for your little ones, and you personalize your names. And I guess our personalization is like the main factor. We have bunnies, we have backpacks, tot boxes. We have our best-selling Hello blankets, which is like our signature. Actually, everyone comes to us for our Hello blankets. Yeah, that's about it.
Great, thanks for sharing. So if you're interested to check out more about Syazna's business, Tots All, you can head on to their social media and their website as well. All right, so now that we know a little bit about Tots All, let's kind of shift the focus back to you, Syazna, and we really just want to hear from you your story as an entrepreneur. So maybe to start, can you share with us, what inspired you to start Tots All?
So basically, it started in 2017. I was pregnant with baby number 2, but then I've always been into personalized products. Like, even if you knew me in school, like everything had to be a certain color or had to have my initials on it, even in like uni. So it was always something that resonated with me. So I was pregnant with her, and then it was this little sofa that I fell in love with, and everyone did as well, because I bought it for my son. So I remember researching and then like designing, and then we found like our supplier, and then suddenly the first shipment arrives a week before giving birth. So I remember like, oh God, it's here. And there was some delays and whatnot. I didn't plan it to come a week before giving birth, but it came. And then then after that I was in the hospital, obviously giving birth, and then with my newborn, and I thought, oh my God, there's so many other things that I want for my baby and I can't find. Like, it's so hard to find. Like so I was like, let's do this. So we started with like all things newborn. I always tell people that Tots All grew with my kids. They grew as what they needed, we made, because like, so it obviously started as a newborn company. We very much focus on like towels, bibs, blankets. Actually, our best-selling products are our blankets, and it's called the Hello blanket actually. And personal story, it's like the Hello is actually my horse. Like, growing up I had a horse and he has passed on, so it's my way of keeping him alive. So it's called the Hello blanket, and now it's loved by so many people as well, so that's pretty. So the Hello blanket, pillows, bunnies. Actually, bunnies are our signature as well. And then we have backpacks, duffel bags, which are popular. And yeah, pretty much we have over 100 products on our website. And they're all like so many different colors, and you can personalize it to your liking in like so many different ways. It's really personal. Yeah, that's the story behind how it started. Now it's been 3 years. We just celebrated our 3-year anniversary last August.
That's really interesting. Like it seems like it all started from, when you were looking
Yeah,
for a personalized product for your newborn and you couldn't find it. So you were
couldn't
like,
find
let's
it.
just make it for
Yeah,
ourselves, and for a lot of the other moms that are facing
yeah.
the same problem, right? Yeah, so I think just to kind of like understand your background a little bit. So before studying Tots and All, do you always, wanted to start your own business, or what background do you come from? Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. So I did law in university. So I did my LLB in UK, and then I did my master's in international business in UK as well. But I guess I always knew I wasn't gonna get into law. Like it was always something like my father wanted me to do. So, but then I came back and I'm always been interested in business. I think coming from a family that's has always been in business, like it was always natural. And also friends, I'm surrounded with like so many successful friends. So and then but I couldn't really pinpoint like what I wanted to do, right? There was nothing. I couldn't find a gap in the market that maybe like it's something interesting, because also in business you gotta have passion, you gotta want to do it. It can't feel like work. You're gonna enjoy it. And actually this is something I really enjoy. It's something actually I look forward to it. I look forward to like finding new things, and like, so not only I would like that, other people would like. So yeah, that's it. And then so naturally, and then I had my kids, and I didn't want to, and I still wanted to do something, right? But I guess you also have to balance, because I was a new mom. So and then when this idea came about, like it was, I guess it was natural. Like it was not as a mom, like some babies as well, because I was a new mom. And it made sense in sense, like it also like I said, it was something that was lacking in the market at that time, because I couldn't find it. There was a lot of new moms too. So it was like, oh, it was only natural, like, let's do this because there's a gap. I want it. And surely so many people do want it too. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great that you were able to kind of merge your passion for business and also, your identity as a mom, with your newborn. And I think that's like really cool that you get to do that as your job right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
cool.
yeah, and it's nice to see you enjoy what you do as well. I think that's really important. And yeah, I think so. As we know, starting a business is not a very small and easy task.
Mm.
So when you first started, what were some of the challenges that you first faced, and how did you kind of overcome them?
Okay. So I think when we first started, like any business, you're scared, right? Like, will someone like what I'm selling? Will they want what I'm selling? Um, but like I said, so we in that sense, I knew I had something like so far. I knew I had something that people wanted, like people would love. So that was pretty, like it was a good first. I guess I trusted my product enough that I knew, and then I launched it. So and I also always said, like, and I was trying to get people's trust in our product, because it's baby stuff, like it's something to do with your kids, and obviously parents are overly sensitive, or like you want the best products, when you pay for something, you don't want, like, and also because it's online, you can't touch it, you can't feel it. I had to make sure what I was selling, or it's like something I would let my kids use. Like I always said it, if my kids don't use it, I'm not going to sell it, because what's the point? It has to be good quality product. It's just not selling something. So I suppose I believed in that. So when it's hard, there was a new online store that had personalized product for your baby that they couldn't have a feel for. But we persevered, and then we started selling, and I guess it was word of mouth. I guess like everyone was like, oh, they bought something from us, and then it was good quality. They loved it. It was cute. So and then it was just word of mouth, and we had a lot of customers coming back. So yeah. So I guess that was one of our challenges, was just getting someone to trust our product. And because I trusted it, I mean, our team trusted it, we trusted, and we knew it was something that you wouldn't regret buying, right? So yeah, so that was one of our challenges. Went out, and we had really good loyal customers. We always say our customers are our best marketers. A customer coming back is your best marketer. And then that's what we did. And we also had a very personalized touch. I remember when we first started out, I remember like every order, like I would write a thank you note. Like, you know, it was my handwriting. Like it was like, dear whoever, thank you so much for buying our product. We hope you like it. Can't wait to see photos of you in it. I remember that line because I used to write it every day. And you know, and with that and the power of Instagram actually, because I guess people were so touched to see like, oh my God, it's personalized, and they shared it. And I remember when we started, people would share a gift and it was like shared and shared, and people, and yeah, so I guess that was one of the challenges, and how we, you know, put ourselves out there, and maybe like it helped us a bit.
Yeah, I think you touched on a few really important points. And I think, firstly, I think being in this industry where you're selling baby products, usually parents are extra cautious with the products that they buy. And I think from your perspective as an entrepreneur, it was equally as important for you to make sure that your product is safe and is as high quality as
Yeah,
possible, that you would allow your children to use it, right?
exactly.
Yeah, and I think just having, placing that importance of making sure your product is of good quality, that's what's, gonna bring the customers in, and that's what's gonna,
Yeah,
have, establish a very loyal customer base. And I think another
yeah.
thing that you mentioned about was, you know, personalizing, certain notes when you sell your products can, have a really great
Mm.
impact.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even you, if you receive something and there's so many small businesses now that do it
Mm-hmm.
now, and you just feel so touched. No, it's more like there's a personal link to it, and then you just feel
Yeah.
it's not like one of those big brands that it just goes out the door, right? So yeah, so when we started, we did that, and people love receiving it. I loved writing it, so I think that's one thing. And also, I guess another challenge for us was, well, challenge, but also plus point, was like our packaging. Like I always made sure, I was like, people want to receive nice things in like beautiful packaging. So remember, like we had to make sure like most of our stuff actually they come in like a personalized box. Especially if we're giving like a baby present, it's like a tot box, so it comes a nice box with a ribbon. So yeah, so that's another one of our selling points, was our luxury boxes that came with most purchases.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's really good tip for a lot of small business out there as well. Like
Yeah,
make sure your customer feels valued, and you can do that in many different ways, right?
many different
And
ways.
yeah, and they will spread the word for you as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, they will
Great.
spread the word for you. A customer that comes back is your best marketer, like
Yeah.
for sure. And we have so many good loyal customers.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip. Yeah, so moving on to, our next question. So obviously with the pandemic, a lot of things have changed. So as a business owner yourself, what were some of the main challenges that you faced during the pandemic, and how did you kind of adapt to it? Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I feel the pandemic has affected all of this in one way or another. When, of course, when it started, we were really scared, right? Like, I mean, everyone was scared. We didn't know what we were going through, with what COVID-19 was. And then we had a lockdown, and we didn't know if we could operate. And we're a small business, so every day counts, right? So not operating for 3 months would have been impossible. But we got to operate because we're an online store, and it's e-dagang, and that's fine. And also maybe at that point, which was maybe, I mean, I've made the first few weeks was hard. I think because there was so much anxiety with everyone. But then when it settled down and people were home and people knew what COVID was, and they understood that being a gifting business, or a more, like you say, personalized business, and also because we're in the baby sector, which we did okay, like we were still, it wasn't great, but it was we still had sales that we could operate, whatnot. um I remember like we were meant to, a little thing before the pandemic, we were supposed to have a little pop-up, because we've always been mainly an online store. We still are an online store, but we thought we were going to do like a pop-up in a mall. um and we were supposed to start it, and then the pandemic happened. So like, I guess that's a little lesson, that a little blessing that we had, because if not, we would have been stuck. What other challenges did we have? a lot of, okay, another problem that a challenge that we had was also trying to gauge our stocks, because with the pandemic, it was worldwide. At one point we couldn't get our stocks in because the ports were closed. So it was also managing that. So a few times, like, we know a lot of our products were out of stock. So like it was the challenges of managing it, or like anticipating, or like trying to, like view, like, oh my God, how much am I gonna need in like a month, because like, and actually our sales were doing quite well, being that because we were a gifting store and everyone couldn't see anyone. So they were like, oh, we need to send a gift. Trust and all, right? Because we've been using them. So it's easy, we offered free shipping and stuff. So that was a challenge, the challenge that I guess we had during the pandemic. Another challenge was that we had a few launches planned, which was more to going out. So it's more like what your kid would need going out or going on trips. And then it was lockdown, so you didn't need that. So I guess one thing is we were stuck with X amount of stock that we couldn't push because you didn't need it. And obviously, like, if you're not going to buy something you don't need, no matter how great the product is, right? So yeah, so that was one of our challenge, but and then it eased up. So thank God we could push that stock later last year. A challenge this year, most probably because we also, like, we've been stuck at home since March, maybe, right? Because it's been like a semi-lockdown since March. So a lot of things that you would need, like, we had a lot of like back to school products, like, and so yeah, we couldn't sell those as well. What else? What are the challenges? Oh, shooting. Actually, this is a really good story. So we had a big birthday thing. So another challenge is, like, when it comes to pandemic, is like you can't foresee like what's going to happen tomorrow, but your business still has to go on, right? So you need to adapt. So we had a plan. We had a plan for a very big third year celebration that we were going to do. So it was going to be a nice shoot with so many kids and all this like love and laughter and like colors and everything. But obviously the pandemic happened and nobody wanted to, like, nobody would trust me with their kids. No, we couldn't as well. Like, we couldn't, right? Everyone was on lockdown. So I have two boys. So I had to use them at home. So I remember like creating this like shoot at home just for them and trying my very best to sell out, to like market with two boys. But it was good. So, like, it's a challenge that we overcome and it was good. But yeah, we just had to shift our marketing a bit in terms of the pandemic. Instead of doing shoots at home, I managed to get like friends to take photos with their kids. Like, I think I have like a good friend when I'm always like, I really need you to take a photo with your daughter and it has to look like this. And then, she's doing it for free, right? She's like, oh God, Syazna. But yeah, so like, and then, yeah, something like that, like a little challenge. But other than that, no, that's all I can think of right now. So we've been one of the businesses that it may be quite blessed in this pandemic.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. I think you raised a few good points. Like, with the pandemic, a lot of things have changed, right? So as a business owner, it was so important.
Yeah,
it was so important for you to kind of adapt to the new trends and to, in terms of marketing, also make the most out of the resources that you have.
And you didn't have much.
Yeah. And I think, the mindset is that, the pandemic happened, but the business still has to run. So we need to find certain ways to kind of.
We can't just pause for 3 months. We're pretty much like, we need every single day. So yeah. So we persevered through it.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. So I think the next question is kind of related as well. So, obviously, I think the pandemic is not gonna completely go away anytime soon. So with the whole, uncertainty caused by the pandemic, how do you, what are you planning for Tots and All, and how are you gonna help Tots and All to maybe grow or recover from the pandemic?
Yeah. So I suppose, like, it's no longer a pandemic now because we're moving to an endemic, right? So we're gonna live with it. But of course, so many things have changed because, like, we're not going to be doing like pop-ups anymore because, those kind of like business of models has to change. Like, it's got to be more, I think, more personalized based now. Like, if you wanted something. So one thing that we're going to do, because we've always been in just an online business, but we're going to start because we also don't want to have open a shop just yet. It's a bit uncertain to have a shop right now. You know, we could have another variant and then everything shuts again. But we've actually made use of a spot in our office to make it a bit more of like a showroom warehouse. So we would now start, like, if you wanted something and you're new to us and you're not sure about quality, or I mean, it's okay if you're skeptical, then you could come and, you know, have a feel for it, like a little shop, like a little showroom. That's how we're moving forward in that terms. If you wanted to try our stuff, have a feel for it, and maybe, I suppose, like, look at the colors yourself. So that's one way we're doing. One way we're trying to, for the like, we're trying to brave for the next step. And also the next one would be like, our products would be more like, we were very focused on things that people needed, like, to go out, maybe, like I said, you know, like backpacks and stuff. Like, that was quite a bestseller for us. So we realized, and then, you know, at one point, oops, God, it took a back step, right? So next year we're planning for things where it's not so much like that requires you to go out. It's not so much like a backpack. It's like you still need it at home, or, I mean, it's, yeah. So we've sort of changed our products that we are launching. So we've got a few launches this year. We've got one more next month, and a big one for Christmas. So, and those stuff are all things that you could still use it even if you're at home. It wasn't like, so I guess we had to adapt our product line, supposedly, just for the pandemic.
Yeah, I think that's a great strategy, you know, adapting your product based on consumers' behavior now, because people don't necessarily go out anymore. So you just kind of have to adapt your products at the same time. Yeah. And and another, you know, really exciting to hear that you might be kind of setting up like a mini showroom at your office. Yeah, I think that's a great way to also, you know, establish more trust with customers, right?
Yes. And also, like, it's a big step for us, right? Because, like, we're opening our doors, per se. You know, like, before this, it would be like, it's pretty much online. So now it's like we're opening our doors. So it's a huge step for us. And I think as a team as well, we would have to manage it quite differently. I'm pretty sure we'll stumble upon a few obstacles, and I can probably tell you next time. But
yeah. So, you know, anyone in the audience, if you're, you know, interested to check out the products, you can look forward to their new showroom that's coming up.
We'll share it on our page when it happens.
Yeah, so do follow them. So moving on to our next question. So now we're kind of done talking about the pandemic and everything. Let's just talk about, you know, what, you know, as a business owner yourself, what is like your proudest achievement to date?
I think I'm proud of it all. You know, I'm proud of every little thing, you know, and as you should be. Like, I think every business owner is proud of every little thing. I remember being proud of my box when we first did it. Like, oh, look how cool my box is. And, you know, and to other people it's just a box, but you should just be proud of everything. And I think, I'm proud of every single thing, of every product we've come out, of every product the team has thought of. Proud of everything, actually. But I guess the biggest one, per se, would say that a few days ago we had a pretty big call with a pretty big company I was telling you earlier, right? So I guess that would be a pretty big thing that I'm very, very, very proud of, and I can't say it yet, but I'm so ecstatic. So, you know, look out in June 2022, hopefully. You know, that is, I think, my proudest moment. I remember screaming when I got the email. I remember screaming 2 minutes before the call, and I remember screaming after the call. So I guess that is my proudest moment for now.
Great. Yeah, we can't wait to hear more about it. Stay tuned, 2022, exciting things coming.
Stay tuned, guys.
But yeah, I think as a small business owner, like you, you know, for you, it was important to celebrate little milestones.
It's important, for sure. It's important to celebrate every little milestone in your business. It's like the day, like maybe the day I bought my first machine, I was screaming. I was so happy. And then we got a second machine. I was like, oh, it's, you know, like screaming again. So you have to celebrate every milestone, because every milestone is important, and it's that one stepping stone that gets you to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's, the mindset that a lot of entrepreneurs can learn from,
Yes.
is, really celebrate the process and everything that comes with it, because, you own the business, right? And that's yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Okay, but
moving
it's
on
not
to,
all
yes.
fun and glory as
Yeah,
well
of
as a
course.
business owner. So they should also know that. Like, it's not,
Yes.
there will be days where, you'll never forget the lows when you get so high. Like when you have your highest of highs, you don't really forget the lows. So, you just got to persevere through. So yeah, I mean, it's all fun, but it's worth it. I mean, celebrate all your milestones, but learn from everything else as well.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Yeah, so I think moving on to the next question. So we just want to ask if you have, any entrepreneur that you admire, and can you explain, how they have inspired you?
Okay. Wow, so many. Like, I think I have so many entrepreneurs that I admire, that I look up to, that I take inspiration from. I can't name one. But I guess, like, on the global, like, I mean, I'm a huge Oprah fan, so I love her, and I'm so amazed at the whole network she's built. Totally different from what I do, but still. A huge cosmetics Huda Beauty fan as well. Like, I think that's pretty amazing for what she's achieved. But to bring it back, back locally, um, I'm a huge fan of let's say, well, I think I'm a huge fan of Vivi. Like, I think she's built quite something for herself. Like, Duck, it's an internationally huge brand. Something we of course aspire to be in the future. But also, it's not just these big brands that inspire me. I have so many friends that are also entrepreneurs, and, like, no matter, like, the little things that they do, every little bit that they've done has inspired me in my business. Like, all my good friends, who have something, and every little thing that they've done and how they've done it have inspired me. It's not just one person. It's like everyone. So it's very hard for me to say, like, who my favorite entrepreneur is, because I think I've learned from all my friends as well, who are not maybe like huge entrepreneurs, but they're still entrepreneurs, and they've taught me so much. So yeah. I think you learn from everyone. You learn from, you got to continue learning. All your friends, I mean, friends or, like, people you see, like, you just learn. Yeah. So, like, I think I learned a lot. I think the last year as well, actually, instead of just these big entrepreneurs that you look up to, I've actually learned from my friends who are all have small businesses, because everyone had to do something ad hoc. Everyone had to think on their feet, to survive. And it's amazing how everyone just learned something. So I guess, like, we were always like, what are you doing for this? What are you doing for that? And there's always someone telling you something, and then you learn from them, you adapt from it. So yeah. Always never be shy to ask, I think, is one thing. Like, don't be shy to ask, like, babe, how did you do this, or what are you doing? Because everyone wants you to succeed. Everyone is, like, rooting for you, and no one's gonna they will share. They will definitely share whatever they can.
Yeah. I'm loving this, sense of community that, it's so important that from all small business owners to be really open-minded, to learn from other people.
We gotta look out for each other.
Yeah. And I think that's the key to helping everyone succeed at the same time.
No, for sure. Especially, like, in the past 2 years, I guess, like, that is a challenge,
Yeah.
It's like, that is the challenge, because everyone needs to succeed. So you want everyone to succeed. So you got to learn from everyone, and everyone in any industry is doing something special. So you got to pick and choose and, like, adapt to how you need it. So yeah, I think I learned a lot from my friends the last 2 years. Like, I learned a lot, and all my friends didn't forget. Like, we're not kadekut, in their information. They're like, yeah, we do this, I'm like, oh yeah, that's such a good way. And then if they ask me as well, I'm like, yeah, this is how I do it. This is how so yeah.
Yeah, great. I just really like the whole vibe. Like, you guys are all kind of helping each other out. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we've come to the last question for me.
Okay.
So do you think young people should start their own business and why?
Yeah, of course. Go for it. But do your research, find your gap in the market. If there's none, if there's something else similar in the market, find what you can do to make it better. Like, know your risk. Um, but with no risk, you gotta take risks. Like with no risk, there's no reward. I know as cliche as that sounds, but it's true. So if you have something that no matter what, go for it, but research, because you can't go in, and you got to go in fully. It's not like one leg in, one leg. You got to go in fully, and you got to know that you got to do it. And like there will be days where you are like crying. As an entrepreneur, it's not all smooth sailing. There are days I'm like, oh my God, why do I still want to do this? But there are days where it's like you're so happy and you're celebrating each, oh, we had a good sale today, or we didn't have a sale today. And sometimes my husband gets that, because I'll be like, we had no sale today. He's like, oh God, you had a good sale yesterday. I was like, no, but today, and you will go through that. You will go through bad months and bad weeks and bad days. But if, like I said, if you believe in your product, and you have research, and you're ready to go do it, no, nothing's stopping you. But yeah. But I think also always improvise, like always be sure to improvise. Like, yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah.
I'm having fun, guys. I hope
that's all the questions
listening to me.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I hope the audience is enjoying it as well. Yeah, I think what you mentioned is great. I think for a lot of young people, it might be a very scary step to take, to start a business. But I think, what you're trying to say is really just if you have a product that you believe in, be committed to it, and also work hard in doing your research before you actually launch it. Like that's how you start a business, right? You can't just go into it without researching. Yeah. Great. I think that's all the questions from me. So now we will go on to the Q&A session, which is when we'll be answering the audience questions. So we have quite a few, which I don't think we have the time to go through all of them. Yeah. So I will kind of pick and choose. So if I don't choose your questions, I'm so sorry. But yeah.
Oh, I can't see them. Okay.
Yeah. So I will just like read it out. So the first question that someone asked is, what's the challenge when it comes to competitors such as Bee and Bo or Dreamjoy, who were one of the first few brands also doing baby personalized gifts? How do you differentiate yourself?
Oh, okay. Bee and Bo. Yeah. So Bee and Bo, is one of our top competitors. I think as much as they are also selling baby stuff, like we're selling two different. Like it's a different aesthetics as well. Like I think how do I say it? Like we have different products, similar category but very different products. Maybe we're more focused in our tot boxes, and we have a lot of products where I would say we have similar products, but our products actually complement each other. I know so many of my friends that have their products and also have mine, and same as people who enjoy both the products. So I guess in our sense of Tots All and Bee and Bo, it's just we're good at what we do individually, but they also complement each other. And we don't. I don't think there's a furious competition there. I think it's a pretty healthy one, and I really look up to them, and I think they're a really great brand as well. And Dream and Joy as well.
Yeah. Great. Thanks for sharing. So the next question that someone asked is, can I ask what are some significant differences between having an online store and a physical store? What are some pros and cons?
Okay. So, well, I guess a con of just having just an online store is, like I said, people don't have the feel for it. And I think that was a challenge for us. It was a huge challenge for us, for you to trust. You can't physically feel the quality of our products, right? I may think it's like the best quality ever, but everyone is different. So that's a con. And that was always a con for us That's why we always wanted to, like, oh, you know, we should do a pop-up. Like, people need to feel it. Once you feel it, it's like you'll blow your mind, you know, those kind of things. So that's a con, that an online store. But the pros, I guess, to be frank, in this pandemic, and which is, I'm pretty glad, with hindsight, I'm so glad we didn't take that step, because we were going to take that step, was it's just, I guess, if we were to be stuck with and at this point in time, the con to have a store, it's just so volatile. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I guess the fact that we don't have we don't have a store, we could still operate as an online store. And if we had a physical store, we were not allowed to operate, you know? So that is a con right now. And I guess that is something that has maybe worked out advantage with the pandemic. But if we didn't, then we would most probably suffer. But, you know, but I think e-commerce is the way to go now. You know, everybody is on it. I mean, but it's just establishing your clientele and also, you know, making people trust your product. Because, you know, so many people buy something online and they're not happy. I mean, I've gone through that. Like, oh my God, what did I just buy? I mean, I think all of us have gone through that. But yeah, so it's customer satisfaction. So once you trust your product, like I said, always, I trust my product. I always tell people that. My kids use it. I trust it. They're my first test. Whenever we get something, they have to test it. If not, like, no, it doesn't go. We have whole room of samples that didn't pass through because, like, my son's like, no, I don't like it. But yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, and I think we have time for just one last question.
Okay.
So as a mother, how do you balance work and life at home?
That's a tough one. Tough one, and one I struggled for a very long time. But I suppose it's finding your balance. It's not someone else's balance, but it's your balance. So, like, for me, I always made it, I always had certain things I made sure of, like little things I would do with them, that it was our thing. So I sent them to school, like when we could, I sent them to school. I did the things that I needed to be, that I knew when I could, I was there. But then when I wasn't there, like, I have a good support system. I'm blessed. I must say that I'm blessed that I have a very good support system, and I've got my parents who are there instantly, and I know I've got and also my husband's really like he's all like go, you know, like so I have got a good support system. But I think when you say balance, you always have to find your balance, not a balance that you think or what someone else imposes on you. So I think I found that balance, and I managed to work with it. So I do things with them, but I also make sure they understand that I work. They understand, like they know my office. They love coming here, and I do bring them when I could, like, for them to be involved. They're also very much involved in it, to be honest. They've been our models from day one. Like, you know, so like they're chinos, like my boys know, they know that, like, this is their job as well. Like, you have to smile, you know, for photos. But yeah, so I mean, there's no definite balance. Like I said, it's find your own balance and what you think is right, then it'll all fall. Like, it'll all come together. And have a good routine. Like, have a very good routine. You know, if you have a good routine and you've got it all set up, and I think then it's fine. You can do it both. You can be like a mom that's there all the time, but you can also, you know, hustle.
Hey,
is that it? Do we have another question?
Let me look at the time. Okay, we can squeeze in.
Overboard.
Yeah, we can squeeze in one last question, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Yeah, so someone asked, you seem so positive, and I'm curious, is there anything you don't enjoy about running your own business?
What do I enjoy? I have to do everything also sometimes, you know? I don't enjoy, no, I enjoy it all. I enjoy it all, but no, I'm not always positive, guys. No, I'm not. There are days where I'm so negative and I'm like crying, because that's the real deal. That's what being an entrepreneur is about. Like, there are days where you just cry because, like I said, because not everything will go your way. you know, and there'll be so many things that you have to stumble upon, and then you can't meet. But there'll obviously, what don't I enjoy about it? I don't enjoy the uncertainty. Yeah, it's the uncertainty, because it's the ups and downs. I don't enjoy that. Obviously, nobody enjoys ups and downs, right? You just want to, like, you want to go up, up, up. But then, yeah, so I don't enjoy that. But other than that, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy what I do. I really enjoy building what I've built and to continue building it. And I really enjoy, yeah, but it's not all fun all the time. So don't be fooled. Like, if you were to start something, if you were to, there will be times where it's really tough.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing and for answering all of the audience questions. And that's all the time we have. I'm so sorry if we didn't manage to ask the questions.
Okay, you can ask me.
yeah, sure. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, Syazna, for your time today, and everyone. That was Syazna from Tots and All. What I really enjoyed about today's session really is I learned a lot about you as an entrepreneur and how it was important for you to always adapt according to, you know, the trends, according to customer behavior, and also really being very committed about making sure that your product is high quality, because with that, people will trust your products and people will come to you. And I think just your attitude of, you know, wanting to learn from the people around you as well. I think that's very good advice for a lot of young aspiring entrepreneurs. Yeah, so that was Syazna sharing her experience at Tauke Talks, brought to you by RYSE and supported by Citi Foundation. And if you're interested to check out Tots and All, again, go and follow them on their social media, their website. And yeah, so if you've enjoyed today's session, if you want to come back for more Tauke Talks, next week we'll be featuring Machino, Esther, the co-founder of Machino. So it's a local shoe brand. So you can come on next week. It will be a morning session actually, next week, next Wednesday. Can sign up via the bit.ly link as well on the slides. Yeah. And next up, introducing our latest creative competition, the Spirit of Malaysian Tauke. So this is a postcard design competition for Malaysian youth. So this competition really is to promote the spirit of entrepreneurship in Malaysia. And if you're Malaysian 16 to 28, you can come and join this competition. Basically, you know, if you've been inspired by any of our Tauke Talks, if you've been inspired by Syazna from Tots and All, you can go ahead and join this competition, design a postcard for her, and you'll be entitled to win amazing cash prizes and more. All right. So you can sign up or find out more at the bit.ly. And the next program that's coming up is RYSE with Us. So RYSE with Us is a series of workshops and webinars designed for youth to learn soft skills. So if you're someone that, you know, don't really have a lot of time and you just want to go for a short one-time workshop, you can come on to RYSE with Us. We have over 10 topics to choose from communication skills to management skills, different things. So you can go on to our bit.ly/RYSE with Us to find out more. All right. And lastly, if you want to check out more about what we do at RYSE and also any upcoming Tauke Talks, please follow us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Syazna, for your time as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.